The 1111 gateway is a significant energy portal that's coming up that we'll be feeling around November 11th. And this your particular 2020, it's an especially significant event because we're going to be receiving a massive influx of light energy. My name is Ona Christie. My channel is Art of Awakening, and join me to delve into what is the 1111 portal. Why is this particular 1111 gateway in 2020 so significant, and most importantly, what can we do to prepare? So if you follow me, you know that I work with my Akashic guides a lot to just download information about just kind of what's going on in the world as well as other spiritual topics. And so I did some inquiries around the 1111 portal. And I'm just going to relay to you what they told me. And so we're going to start feeling this energy right around the time of Samhain, which is like Halloween, All Saints Day, about the first of the month through about Thanksgiving or so. And we're going to be receiving like this massive influx of light energy. And this is in response to the accelerated awakening of large numbers of human beings over the past few months. They're telling me that the 1111 portal is a holy convergence of energy that will be a significant turning point in the progression of events on Earth, and will accelerate the spiritual evolution process that's currently underway on this planet. So why is the November 11th gateway so significant, and especially for 2020? Well, in general, any energy portal, it is an energy portal, and so it's going to make the spiritual realm especially accessible. And these are benevolent energies. These are light energies coming in, but it's really important to understand that the portal itself is sort of like basically an open door. So it's going to make it easier to access all types of spiritual energies. And that means that it's going to amplify energies of all frequencies. So it's really, really important, and I'll get into this a little bit more later, to shield yourself from energies that may be damaging to your field. Okay, so super point of importance. They're telling me that dark forces are already bracing themselves. They're sensing these incoming rays, bracing themselves for impact. And so don't be surprised, and I think we may already be seeing that, if there is an increase in chaotic, negative, and or disturbing events on the planet at this time. So don't worry though, okay? Because I'm being told above all, like, don't fear, don't worry. We do want to be prepared, but it's really important to stay out of those fear frequencies, and some more of what they told, will help us to do that. So I'm being assured that humanity is being held very, very strongly in the light at this time, and a great deal of light energy is being made available to us. If you're sensitive to these energies, you may, just like a lot of these waves of light that we've been having in the past, couple of years, but especially the past couple of months, you may be experiencing things like an expansion of your psychic abilities, active dream states, waking up, in 2, 3, 4 in the morning, synchronicities, all those kind of things. It may also trigger purification within your body or your mind. So, feelings of anxiety, kind of physical purges, emotional releases, that kind of thing, you could be experiencing. So it's really important to take care of yourself, a lot of self-care right now. And but you can also see just beautiful things, right? Releasing of things that don't serve you, releasing addictions, that kind of thing can happen as well. So here's some specific information that's kind of shocking, that is a good thing to know about these particular energies. I'm being told that as these incoming light energies are directed into the core of the earth, it will be like a defibrillator, like an electric CPR shot into the heart of the earth. Okay, and so this is an emergency measure that's being taken that could result in some experience of trauma, just as though if your heart stops, like if a patient's heart stops and they do that electric, defibrillator treatment on them, that's what's happening here to the earth. And they're saying that even though it can create some trauma, it will assist in reviving a weakened pulse and bringing life back to a dying frequency. And it's put down both for the sake of Mother Earth and for humanity, but they're telling me more for humanity. Really, the idea is to just to revive a failing human continuum, is what they're saying. Okay, it's done. They're saying that Mother Earth doesn't need this treatment to survive, but humanity plays an important role in the brainwaves of Mother Earth. And the shock treatment is being revived to, again, revive the failing human continuum and avoid excessive brain damage to the Earth. I thought that was an interesting way that they put that. So if there's any thoughts that, you know, that the Earth would be better off without humanity, those kind of thoughts, that's just part of that 3D dark matrix. Don't believe those, okay? We are important, and we are an important part of a healthy ecosystem on Earth. Humanity is important in that, like any species. Okay, so all of us who are attuned to the light will be helping to ground these frequencies into the Earth just by embodying the light codes in our own bodies. And by the way, these light codes are going to be upgrading our DNA. Okay, but certain individuals, okay, and this is key here, certain individuals may be called to function as spiritual grounding rods, okay, or spiritual lightning rods to help ground the incoming light energies into the planet. Okay, so these are individuals who have been doing regular grounding and shielding work and are capable of withstanding these energies and directing them safely into the Earth. Do not attempt to do this work unless you've really received extensive grounding training and that you feel explicitly called by your spirit team to be of service in this way. Okay, there's no need to go out of your way to try to do this, because to a certain extent it's going to be happening through all of us, but certain people may be called to actually really, you know, be lightning rods for this. So don't take these energies lightly. Even though they're benevolent energies, they are very powerful, right? So it can be result in injury if you're not properly prepared, which is why they're telling us to shield so much, right? One reason why. Another reason is just all these dark energies that are being flushed up. So if you find yourself called to be a grounding rod, super important to maintain and even augment and amplify your essential daily grounding practices. And remember, of course, that the 1111 portal of 2020 may appear to trigger catastrophic events on the planet. My guides put it this way. They said the Augean stables cannot be cleaned without a shit show. All right, so know that whatever happens, it is a matter of disturbing and uprooting negative psychic energies on a grand scale, so that they can be cleared and release the planet and humanity from the existing 3D matrix. Okay, so this is not, this is not the end of the world by any means. In contrast, it's really it's a healing thing that's happening, but it's like a healing crisis in a huge scale that we're looking at being started. So with that in mind, let's take a look at what we can do to prepare for these energies and for the changes and events that they're likely to trigger in the world. Now, I'm going to share with you here the top 4 practices that I've been guided to maintain a high degree of at this time, and there's quite a few more very specific ones that my guides gave me that I've shared on my blog. I'm going to put the link to that below. Okay, so the top 4 practices that I'm being guided to share here are, first of all, maintain your shields, okay? If you're not yet practicing effective spiritual protection techniques daily, and preferably morning and night and around any time that you're doing any kind of energy work, this is a really great time to start. And I'm going to also post a link to the Lisa Renee's Psychic Self-Defense course. She has, and her energetic synthesis website, she's got a course. It's not very expensive, that is excellent for learning to shield yourself and protect yourself and be aware of the negative energies that may be coming at you. Okay. Practice number 2 is to connect daily to the 5D earth and to the light. So it's basically grounding, but grounding and then also holding yourself to the light. Okay, so there's a lot of ways to do this. I mentioned some of them on my blog. You can energetically ground to the central sun very similarly as you do to the core of the earth, or just hold yourself to the light and maintain your connection with this earth and central sun. Disconnect all other sources of energy. So unplug, right? Unplug as much as you can. Practice number 3 is heart coherence. Okay, so collectively we're activating the heart chakra of humanity. And the more we can stay in our hearts, the better that we're going to be able to maintain and anchor this new energy onto the planet, into our own lives. It's super important to stay in the heart. Okay, so a simple way to get into heart coherence is just be quiet, sit quietly, and breathe in and out of your heart center. Okay, I have a meditation, the Rose Gold Flame meditation, that works with the heart energy. I'll link that, as well as if you are not familiar with heartmath.org, they have a lot of information about heart coherence. I'll link that as well. And then practice number 4, as one of the 4 top practices to prepare for the 11 gateway and beyond, is to be still. Okay, so coming into stillness, they're telling me that now is not the time for heroic action, and especially if you're still working on stabilizing your mental, your physical, your emotional, and your etheric bodies within the 5D timeline. That's most of us. That's certainly me, right? So it's a really good time to come to stillness, go within, and just allow these light energies to integrate fully, and that'll help them to integrate with a minimum of discomfort. Okay, so they're telling me just relax, shield yourself and relax within that shielding. Allow yourself to receive the light energies, right? And it's a great time to go within, to journal, to do some artwork. This is a piece that I just started. It's a big acrylic canvas, and see what your higher self wants to, share with you through whatever practices, whether it's meditation, anything else. Okay, so this is really going to allow you to heal, integrate, and be, it'll be fortify you for the work ahead, because there will be time for action, whenever that time is right. And so in conclusion, as we're moving into this 11 gateway of 2020 and beyond, it is going to be super important to keep a long-term perspective on everything that's happening. Okay, so I'm getting that we may be looking at an interesting decade, and and this could shift really in a heartbeat, because the timelines are shifting and changing. You can't really predict, but just my gut feeling from where we are right now in this timeline, I'm looking at probably peaking mid-decade, and then by the about 2030 or so really starting to come out of this. That's a long time in human terms, right? And again, miracles can happen, totally, right? And the more people that really start to get into their heart coherence and to start to hold themselves to the light and, create this shielding and work together, visualize together a beautiful, beautiful future, that could really, really, really accelerate the timeline, okay? And yeah, so don't ever think that we're bound to a particular timeline if somebody's predicted it, right? Things can change, and especially right now when things are so much in flux. Okay, so they're telling me that above all, don't allow yourself to be distracted by fear and panic, even if it's going on all around you, and especially with the media, right? There's a lot of disinformation and just fear loops going on around. So light absolutely will prevail. It is prevailing. And whatever chaotic things are happening or seem to be happening, it's just the necessary process of change at work. Okay? And finally, it's really important to know that every last person is important, right? So never think you're not important, right? What you are doing may seem insignificant, but it's really, really important that you do it. That's a quote from Gandhi. And I love that quote, because we can't see at our level what impact each of us is having. And even if you're just sitting in the kitchen sipping tea, your very presence could be enough to really be shifting if you're really coming into your own presence to be very, very deeply influencing the world and the energies in the earth right now. Okay, so every last person is important. Your energy, your intention, your blessings around this situation really do make a difference. I do have one event that's coming up on November 8th, and that is a spiritual art, visionary art event, and it's really going to be in support of these 1111 energies. I would love to have you join me. I'll be posting a little bit more about that, but I will link to that event as well too. It is by donation, and if you attended my previous visionary art event, it's similar, except that we're really holding the collective intention to support and call forth information and support in the energetic light around this 1111 gateway. So hope to see you there. And otherwise, if you feel inspired, if you feel like this video will help others, then please do share it. And I would love to see your comments below. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you again soon.